Hey everyone, Alex Wilson here again for the DBT download. I want to talk today about forgiveness and specifically a lot of problems with this word forgiveness and concepts about forgiveness. Just to give you some context, so a lot of people that I work with, that my team work with at the Central Coast DBT Center, have really extensive experiences of trauma. And so, this concept of forgiveness and should I forgive? Do I need to forgive? Comes up a lot in our group discussions and individual sessions. And it's something that's come up in my own life recently of considering the role of forgiveness. Now, I think the word forgiveness it means different things to different people. And I don't think we're talking about the same thing when we talk about forgiveness. I think we have lots of different ideas of what that means. There is a really predominant myth that's perpetuated, certainly within our Western society, that if you're a good person, you forgive, right? And that if you don't forgive, if you hang on to anger, resentment, ill feeling towards people, no matter how badly they have treated you, that somehow you're not a good person, right? That you are poisoning yourself through choosing to maintain your anger, or that you are, you know, stewing in resentment because you refuse to forgive. I think all of that is a load of rubbish. I think that anger left unchecked can absolutely have a negative impact on us as human beings. However, it is nobody's place to tell anybody else that they should forgive. Okay, that is an individual decision that somebody comes to, and whatever they decide is completely okay for them. And so, if you have this experience where maybe well-meaning people are saying to you, if you could just forgive the parent that traumatized you, or if you could just forgive the person that harmed you, or that treated you really badly, or that abused you, you would somehow set yourself free. That is a simplistic approach to a very, very complex set of issues that are related to trauma. You don't have to forgive anybody unless you want to, right? And I actually prefer to think about forgiveness. I actually don't like the word very much. I like to think more about um, radical acceptance. So, radical acceptance is a concept that we teach in DBT, and it is simply accepting this is what happened. This is reality. Okay. Or this is what this person did, or this is what this person is doing, right? And this was the impact on me. It is simply saying that's reality. It doesn't go that extra step with saying, I no longer have hurt around that. I no longer have ill feelings. I don't feel anger. I mean, I don't have control over that. You know, you may feel angry about some treatment for the rest of your life, and you are completely entitled to that, by the way. The idea that anger is this bad emotion is totally false. Can it be toxic if left unchecked? Yes. But anger itself is not a bad emotion. Entire revolutions have been based on anger. Massive social change, fighting against injustice, standing up to bullies. These are things that anger have created, and thank God for that, right? So you get to decide whether forgiveness is something that you want to practice or not. And there is no judgment on you either way. And if you want to stay good and angry about people that have abused you or treated you poorly in your life, you just go ahead and do that. And don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. But if you get to the stage where you're like, I feel like my anger towards this person, or the feelings I have about what they did to me are harming me, then radical acceptance might be a good option. It doesn't have to be forgiveness. It can simply be saying, I am not going to fight with this anymore. I'm not going to get up in my head going, they should have done this, they shouldn't have done that, shouldn't, because it doesn't change it. I'm going to radically accept it happened. And most importantly, I'm going to bring compassion for myself on the impact that it has had and that it continues to have. But you are entitled to your feelings. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise, particularly if there are people who have a vested interest in you forgiving because it makes their life easier, right? So I'm talking here about toxic family dynamics where sometimes people don't want to hold somebody accountable for the harm they've created. So they tout forgiveness as a way to kind of keep the peace. Just forgive them, move on to why are you still upset about it? That's not helpful, right? That's invalidating. So that's what I mean. It can get used by people who may not realize they have a vested interest in you no longer being upset. It makes them feel more comfortable if you're less upset, right? So I'd love to hear your thoughts about forgiveness. It is a controversial topic. And as always, if you want to chat more about DBT or connect, please reach out to me. All right, I'll catch you next time. Bye.